Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming.
Things I would like to talk about. Marbles. Start with the ball. Have y'all ever seen marbles before? Marbles, come here. Come here. Marbles, come here. Marbles, get your furry ass over here. Marbles, come here. Come here. Marbles is my dog. Let me start over. So the last time I made a video, I was unemployed. Sorry, I haven't taken my reflux medicine today. Oh, when I was at my dad's shop and all that. I'm not unemployed anymore. I wanted everyone to know that I am not homeless or anything like that. I'm underneath my daughter's playset thing, if you can't tell. It's really cold out here too, by the way. Which brings me to my next point. I haven't done any of these YouTube videos for a few reasons. One of the reasons is it is very cold and I'm a fair weather kind of person. And when you say, well, then why are you sitting outside when it's below freezing? That's the next point. My youngest daughter, that's a baby, 7 months old, is a real pain in the ass. Let me let this wind pass. Actually, I already did this video, but it was way too windy. My next point is everything that I do, I either make a lot of noise or I need things to be quiet. Both of these things are not going well. I'm not able to do these things because of the little baby. She's a very light sleeper and she is very needy. She's being very needy lately. Not like my first daughter was like 3 or 4 months old. She was pretty much, independent. By the time she was this age, she was much more independent. And I didn't have to worry about things. This one's like, and I may have to move my voiceover stuff from where I currently have everything set up in the eyeball room. I may have to move it because I was planning on moving it because I have at my house, behind my house, I call it the little house. It's like a little shed thing that kind of looks like my house, but anyways, it's like a 16 by 24 is the concrete pad, but it has like a little porch on the front of it. And I want to make a office in the back and like a 1-car garage, small 1-car garage, or just put even if it's not enough space to put a car inside of, just at least have a garage door on it, because it has like those French door kind of things, double door things on it. So that's what I would like to do, but I don't know when that'll be, and I'm trying to figure out now if I'm going to see how much it's going to cost me to do everything to this house that I would like to do, because I really need a little more space. Right now, my youngest daughter is, in the crib in our bedroom. We have to move her. It's not sustainable long term. You know what? I'm going to go in the garage. It's too windy out here. Hey, here we go. Looks like a good spot. Maybe that'll be what I start using as a backdrop. Probably should close those windows, but whatever. You know what? How about I turn this light on? Maybe that'll be better. There we go. Yeah, I haven't felt like doing anything to this car or my other car. My window still doesn't work. My daughter is just a very light sleeper and she's very fussy. So that's been an issue as far as getting anything done, because like I said, I need to make a lot of noise for if I'm working on my car or something, or I need it to be very quiet if I'm recording something. So that's what's been going on with that. And the unemployed for 2 weeks thing, I really wasn't planning on being unemployed for 2 weeks. hey, now I'm inside. I'm gonna take this off. I just got a haircut yesterday, so, you know, looks pretty good. Shout out Vito. I wasn't able to start my new job when I thought I was going to be able to, but I'm not sweating it because I was able to make enough money, as much money as I would have made at my prior employer. So, you know, I didn't have insurance, but luckily I didn't have to use any insurance at that time. But moving on from that, let me talk a little bit about my former employer, who I know a lot of people do know where I was working at, but I'm not going to specifically say who they are because, you know, there's really no point. But if anyone is, let me just put it like this. Coming from the automotive world, man, I'm really going bald. My wife told me yesterday I had a widow's peak, and I said, yeah, it's actually just called going bald. But moving on. That was the most peculiar experience of my life. I've worked a few other fleet jobs a little bit, but none quite like that one. That one was a little more, had a little more freedom kind of there. And it was a half desk job, you know. Desk, I'd use that term loosely. Sorry, reflux. It was just so weird. And, you know, which I'm sure many of my subscribers are aware of my struggles, absolute struggles to get paid on time from a multi-billion-dollar corporation was just, and you know, that was the thing too. If it would have happened once or twice, you know, I would have kind of, okay, clerical error, blah, blah, whatever. This was 11 times in 6 months, and no one seemed to give a fuck, was the biggest problem I had about it. So, it's one of those places you hear it's a good place to work. And when I started working there, the union steward, he said it's a good place to work if you don't work here. And I understood what he meant by that. Now, the automotive department was specifically more shit on than the operation side of things, the actual, you know, because it was a fleet. So, you know, the fleet's not in the business of selling trucks. They're not in the business of servicing trucks. They're not in the business of selling parts for trucks. They're in the business of delivering freight, which I didn't really understand how much I would hate that. And I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, because they don't really give a fuck about, they only see the automotive department as an expense. They can't see the value added by preventing the breakdowns and servicing their vehicles. I'm very glad to get out of that situation. A lot of people there kind of like, they think that they're stuck there from the people I've talked to. They're like, where could I go and make more money than I'm making here? And I'm like, well, it's another thing I wanted to talk about. Making money, I mean, I don't have like a lot of money, but if I need to go make money, I just go do it. Making money is one of the easiest things in the world to do. For me, anyways, that's been my experience. You just have to have a little creativity, and you have to be have some risk tolerance. You can't be scared to lose money. And yeah, you do have to be able to, you have to have the right attitude. That's the thing about me and my personality. I pretty much know when to push the bear and when not to, and I can get along with most everyone. But anyways, the people I knew, whatever, knew somebody else, and they were like older people, you know, than me, and they needed someone to lay some block. I didn't have a clue about laying any block, and they just need someone to carry the blocks. So all I had to do was carry the blocks, put them in there. You can't be afraid of work either if you want to make money, because that shit was heavy as fuck. But the guys gave me some tips about, because it was 12-inch blocks and then the 8-inch, the regular size. They was like, carry the 12-inch ones first, and then the smaller ones will feel like feathers, which they were right. But you just can't, I don't want to get too far into that, but I just want to say people get trapped in the mindset of job security, and I want to really drive that you are your job security. Do not be afraid to take risks. Do not be afraid to lose money, and do not be afraid of hard work. If you can do those things, and don't be a dick. Try to treat everyone with respect, no matter if you actually respect them or not, which that's kind of a Levian Satanist thing, which I'm not going to get into that either, but it's not really quite there, that treating people with respect that you don't respect, but it's going in that direction. But if you're interested in that, you can read that book. In my job now, I work from home now. I'll have to start traveling eventually. I'm not sure when, probably later this year. I know I have to travel, or I'm not for sure. I think I have to travel next month for a diagnostic program. I'm not a mechanic anymore, by the way. Well, I guess you figured that out. I work from home. I have a full desk job now, so it's been nice working from home. Been pretty good. Obviously it's kind of scary going into it, because it's like I've always been a technician, mechanic, or whatever, and now I'm doing something else, although there's a lot of skill crossover there. Oh yeah, the other thing too, I had to go on a diet. I gained a lot of weight at my last job. And I think a lot of that had to do with being on night shift, I never could, which I was only doing that for a year and 9 months or something like that, but I never could get my schedule back correctly. And so I had to go on a diet because now I have a full desk job, like I said, and so we're trying to begin with the end in mind, like Stephen Covey. Also, you can read that book. I would probably recommend that if you haven't. I'm pretty sure most people have read that book, but it's like a classic. Anyways, yeah, I'm trying to begin with an end in mind. So, because I already, like my doctor said last week, I had gained 20 pounds since June. So I was like, well, I've already kind of, it's like, do you think I couldn't tell that by the fucking pants not hardly buttoning? But anyways, I told him, I was like, yeah, I've already kind of been a little proactive, a little kind of reactive and proactive, because now I know sitting at home, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And it's really not that hard for me to lose weight. I just have to try. And I really, to be honest, don't have to try that hard normally. I started doing that, a week, and it was on a Thursday. I know a lot of people like to start diets on Monday, but that's just setting yourself up for failure, in my opinion. And also people get they try to do too much at once, which I'm guilty of in the past. But I just have to try a little bit. See, the only problem is I really like beer. I really like pizza, cookies, cake, candy. Anything, sugar, salt, and fat, and everything with that in it. Alcohol. And also, that's the thing too. I think if you drink alcoholic beverages, if you drink, say, a rum and Coke, Diet Coke or something, Jack and Diet Coke, probably wouldn't be as bad as beer. But I like beer, and I like heavy beer. Hey, Marbles. So in the past, that's one thing too. I was in pretty good shape at one time, or at least I thought I was. But looking back, I really wasn't. I went from being like a fat guy to a smaller fat guy, really. So I went from 240 to 180, and but I didn't really have any. And this was I was lifting weights. I was doing 30 minutes to an hour of cardio every morning before I went to work, and had a very active job, diesel technician, climbing up and down, this torque wrenches, this up, all. So, I'll try to put a picture up if I can find it. But now, you know, and what it was, I shouldn't have been doing all the cardio. And then when I tried to gain weight after that, it just kind of, that's when it just, my whole life got kind of thrown out of whack. But that's a whole nother topic. But I really like doing powerlifting. Weights, like, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like in this garage right here, I used to have a power rack, you know, squat rack, high pulley, low pulley, bench press, incline bench press, the power tower. I still got a dumbbell rack over there, and I got another one at my dad's house. But I had dumbbells. I still got Bowflex dumbbells, but I really like powerlifting movements, you know, deadlift, squats, bench press, you know, all that stuff. But I really like to work back. My back muscles, most probably my favorite thing to do. But, you know, I never was getting any stronger. So I'm trying to just get it better in shape. And my diet is more for my health, physical health. And the working out, which I'm only doing like I'm just doing like a little bit of dumbbell stuff. That's more for my mental health, because that's the thing. If you lift weights in any capacity, your mind is a lot clearer. At least me, and I have a lot more positive outlook on life. And I just, now that I got a little more time, because I don't have to worry about my phone ringing. That's the thing too. Let me. Another thing about where I was working at, these motherfuckers thought they could just call me whenever they felt like it. I don't know why. I guess because all these other technicians over the years have allowed themselves to be taken advantage of in that way. I wasn't going to do it. I don't think I'm multi-billion. I don't think that I should have to drop everything I'm fucking doing to go pull a truck out that got stuck, you know, from a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, we're talking about 49,000 million profit a quarter or something like that. I mean, you know, so why the fuck should I have to stop what I'm doing? Did not work on call, keep in mind, because when I first in the interview I asked if I was going to be on call, because I didn't even want to fucking take this job, to be honest with you. I pretty much talking myself out of it. I had another job as a assistant regional service manager for a suspension manufacturer, like lined up. I was, you know, I had to redact my application or whatever. I'd already had interviews, and I was flying up to, and I took the job because I was like, well, you know, because like the steward said, or I always heard it was a good place to work. And maybe that depends on where you're at and your organization management. I don't know. My boss was cool. Now his boss and the other bosses at the next level, I don't really know too much about any of that, so I can't say. But I am so fucking glad to be out of, for one, that company, and for two, to be with a company I actually feel like has strong leadership and is going in the right direction. Because the meetings I've had so far with the both the person over my division and the presentations I've seen from the CEO, I feel like the leadership there is very strong. Because you know what makes a good leader is someone that sets an example worth following. Anyways, I guess I've yacked on for long enough. This video is going to be way too long, but whenever I get a chance to do some more stuff, I'm going to do it. But my voiceover stuff, I don't know. I got to figure out how I'm going to keep that going. And I got to go back to school, finish my degree here pretty soon. And by pretty soon, I mean like I got to register for classes on tomorrow. So I took this semester off, and I'm glad I did, but it sent me back a little bit. So it is what it is. You got to just work with what you got. You know, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor.
never stop dreaming.